The Great History of Paper, from Rocks to the Digital World. Part 1. The Silence of the Ancient World. How did humans preserve their voice? Before the advent of paper, the transmission of knowledge was a massive disaster. Humanity's first attempt was carving drawings and lines onto stones. In caves and on mountains, these marks could last for thousands of years, but they were completely unportable. No one could carry a mountain to another city. Later, in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, the Sumerian and Babylonian civilizations invented clay tablets. They wrote on wet clay and then dried them in the sun or baked them in fire. These tablets were portable but extremely heavy, and if dropped, they would shatter. Meanwhile, in Egypt, sheets were made from a type of reed called papyrus. Along the banks of the Nile River, the Egyptians sliced the stems of this plant into thin strips, layered them overlappingly, and hammered them with heavy stones so that their natural sap would bind them together. Papyrus was effective, but it had one fatal flaw. It only survived in dry weather. If exposed to slight moisture or dampness, it would quickly rot and decay. In Europe and Central Asia, parchment was crafted from animal skins. The hides of goats and sheep were soaked in lime for weeks, stripped of hair, and then stretched across wooden frames until they became as thin as paper. This material was incredibly durable and permanent, but its cost was astronomical. Writing a single book required the hides of an entire flock, roughly 200 to 300 sheep. Consequently, knowledge remained locked away exclusively within the palaces of kings and the homes of the wealthy. Part 2. The Han Dynasty and the Secret, Astonishing Innovation of Cai Lun. The year was 105 AD in China. The imperial court of the Han Dynasty faced a massive logistical challenge. Official documents and tax records were written either on heavy bamboo slats or expensive silk scrolls. Bamboo was so heavy that transporting a single day's records required multiple carts and animals, while silk was far beyond the financial reach of ordinary people. Enter Cai Lun, a high-ranking court official, who went searching for a solution. He observed the processes of nature, specifically wasps that build their nests by chewing on decayed tree bark. Cai Lun gathered tree bark, old hemp cloth, tattered fishing nets, and rags. He soaked all these materials in water and left them for several days to decompose. Then, he pounded them with heavy wooden pestles in large vats until they formed a uniform, soft and wet pulp. He built a frame containing a screen woven from thin strands of bamboo. He dipped this screen into the vat of pulp and lifted it out evenly. The water drained through the mesh, leaving a delicate, uniform mat of plant fibers, cellulose on top. Once this sheet was dried in the sun and pressed smooth with flat stones, the world's first true paper was born. It was lightweight, cheap, and unparalleled for writing. The emperor praised Cai Lun's innovation so highly that he granted him an aristocratic title and immense wealth. Part 3. A 5-century secret and the Battle of Talas. The Chinese knew that paper was a strategic asset of immense power. Anyone who attempted to expose the secret of filmmaking or papermaking faced immediate execution. For nearly 500 years, the world purchased paper exclusively from China, but absolutely no one knew how it was made. The course of history shifted in the year 751 AD during the Abbasid Caliphate. A monumental conflict broke out over the control of Central Asia. The famous Battle of Talas, fought between Islamic armies and the Tang dynasty of China. The Islamic forces emerged victorious and captured numerous Chinese soldiers. Among these prisoners were highly skilled papermaking craftsmen and engineers. In exchange for their freedom, they revealed the closely guarded secret of papermaking to their captors. The viziers and governors of the Abbasid Caliphate immediately recognized the immense value of this industry and established the Islamic world's first paper mill in the city of Samarkand. With its abundant water streams and vast flax plantations, Samarkand became the perfect hub for paper production. Part 4. The Golden Age of Paper in Baghdad and the Islamic World. From Samarkand, the paper industry soon reached the Abbasid capital of Baghdad. Under the patronage of the Barmakid viziers, the industry flourished to such an extent that a dedicated marketplace called Souk al-Warakin, the paper market, was established, housing hundreds of bookstores and papermaking shops. The Muslims introduced revolutionary advancements to the original Chinese method, the use of watermills. While the Chinese pounded pulp by hand using heavy stones, Muslims engineered water-driven mills. These watermills automated heavy wooden trip hammers, boosting production speeds 100-fold. The addition of starch. The original Chinese paper was highly absorbent, causing ink to bleed and spread. Muslims introduced starch derived from wheat or rice into the process. This glazed the paper, making it smooth and perfectly sizing it to absorb ink cleanly on both sides without bleeding. From Baghdad, the industry expanded to Damascus, Cairo, Morocco, and eventually entered Europe through Al-Andalus, modern-day Spain. During this era, paper democratized knowledge. Baghdad's House of Wisdom, Beit al-Hikmah, became the intellectual center of the world, as thousands of books were copied and distributed at incredibly affordable prices on paper. Part 5. The arrival of paper in Europe and the Gutenberg Revolution. Europeans initially viewed paper with deep suspicion. Many, including Catholic popes, went so far as to ban its use because it was a product of Islamic industry, and they feared it lacked the durability of parchment. However, the sheer affordability and convenience of paper created a tidal wave that no force could hold back. By the 14th century, the first paper mills were established in Italy and Germany. Artisans in the Italian town of Fabriano made paper even more resistant to ink by treating it with animal gelatin, and they also invented the watermark technique to distinguish authentic paper from counterfeits. But the ultimate explosion occurred in the year 1440, when German goldsmith Johannes Gutenberg invented the movable type printing press. The printing press was meaningless without paper. Parchment could never have met the massive supply required. The marriage of paper and the printing press laid the very foundations for the Renaissance and the Industrial Revolution in Europe. Books were printed by the millions, and literacy broke free from the confines of churches and spread to the masses. Part 6. From Rags and Linen to Forests, the Industrial Transition. Up until the 19th century, paper was still manufactured from old clothes, linen, and rags. When the printing press drove the global demand for newspapers and books to unprecedented heights, the world faced a severe shortage of old rags. Papermakers were completely out of raw materials. In 1844, a German inventor named Friedrich Keller developed a machine capable of grinding wood into fibers. Around the same time, chemical processes were discovered in America and Canada that could dissolve lignin, the rigid organic polymer that holds wood together using acids and chemicals, leaving behind pure, soft white cellulose pulp. This marked the monumental shift of raw materials from rags and linen to wood logs. This transition transformed papermaking into a massive, mechanized, multi-billion-dollar global industry, though it also triggered a massive wave of deforestation across the globe. Part 7. The Modern Journey of Paper. What happens inside factories today? Today, the papermaking process is no longer done by human hands. Instead, it happens within seconds inside automated machines the size of a football field, known as Fourdrinier machines. The precise process unfolds like this. Wood chipping. First, logs from sustainably managed forests are harvested and placed into massive debarking drums to strip away their bark. The remaining wood is then sliced by high-speed blades into tiny wood chips. The digester. These chips are mixed with water and sodium hydroxide inside massive chemical vats called digesters, where they are cooked under extreme temperature and pressure. In this stage, the wood breaks down completely, turning into a brown, mushy pulp. Bleaching. This brown pulp is then washed using oxygen or hydrogen peroxide to strip away the wood's natural pigments, transforming it into a snow, white, brilliant pulp. The magic of water removal. This white pulp flows to the front of the massive machine. At this stage, the mixture consists of 99% water and only 1% fiber. The machine sprays this mixture onto a rapidly moving mesh screen that travels at thousands of meters per minute. Due to high-speed vibrations, the water instantly drains downward, causing the fibers to interlock into a web. Hot cylinders and pressing. Next, this wet sheet of paper passes through dozens of heavy, steam-heated rollers. These rollers squeeze out any remaining moisture and dry the paper into flat, solid, and thin sheets. Rolling and packaging. The paper dries at such an incredible velocity that it is ultimately wound into massive jumbo rolls, each weighing several tons. Afterward, computerized lasers slice these massive rolls into precise dimensions like A4, book sizes, etc., in microseconds before they are packaged and shipped to the market.